Good evening, this is Spencer Peach with another video weather briefing. I'm recording this about 8:30 on Monday night, April 18th, 2011. This briefing may be outdated after Tuesday morning, so you should not use it for information purposes beyond that time. First off, let's look at the next 24 hours in the weather. Showers and thunderstorms are ongoing tonight across portions of the tri-state. There have been a few reports of small hail across the area from these storms. Some hail is possible as well, more likely after 10 p.m., and that hail could be greater than quarter size, which is severe weather criteria. Storms will be moving out of the area by tomorrow morning and should certainly be to the north of the area by 9 or 10 a.m. And we will see some clearing in the afternoon, and that will allow temperatures to soar well into the lower 80s, looking at a high around 83 tomorrow in Mount Carmel. I'll of course have that full 7-day forecast later on tonight on the Facebook and Twitter pages. And it will also be very humid tomorrow. We'll see dew points up in the upper 60s, and I can't completely rule out a few isolated locations seeing dew points in the 70s. And it will feel very muggy out there tomorrow, almost summer-like. So this is tonight's Storm Prediction Center severe weather outlook. You can see that they have placed the tri-state areas along and north of the Ohio River in a slight risk of severe weather. As I discussed, I'm not overly concerned by this event, but it does look like some large hail is possible with some storms later on tonight, especially after 10 p.m. What is much more concerning is tomorrow. The Storm Prediction Center has placed us in a moderate risk of severe weather for the entire tri-state, and it does appear a very significant severe weather episode is likely. You can see that moderate risk area stretches all the way from northeastern Arkansas up, well, skipped over that, but it stretches all the way up into Ohio. This is the probabilistic outlook we're looking at now, which is the probability of severe weather within 25 miles of a point. You can see within that moderate risk area that does entail an at least 45% chance of seeing severe weather within 25 miles of any point. Now that means if you would choose any point within that area, there's a 45% chance of severe weather occurring within 25 miles of that area. And also within that 10% blue hatched area, there's at least a 10% chance of significant severe weather occurring, which we've gone over in several previous videos, which means hail greater than 2 inches in diameter, wind gusts greater than 65 miles per hour, and or tornadoes rated EF2 or stronger. So this will be what the weather map looks like at 7 p.m. tomorrow, according to the National Weather Service in Paducah. You can see they issued this forecast on Sunday, April 17th, but this still holds with my current thinking for today. You can see that the low pressure center will be in northeastern Missouri, northwest of the St. Louis area, and a cold front will be stretching back through central Missouri down towards the Springfield, Missouri area, all the way back into Oklahoma and far northwestern Arkansas at that time. A warm front will also stretch through central Illinois and central Indiana just to the north of the I-70 corridor. Now there is potential for a few severe thunderstorms to already be ongoing across the area at that time, which, if any, should develop in the late afternoon hours tomorrow. That would be very concerning. Those storms would be what we call supercell storms, and those have the potential to produce potentially strong tornadoes along with very large hail. However, that development is by no means certain. What is more likely, though, is that a squall line will develop across the area and move into the area overnight. Now you can see here, these are the approximate squall line arrival times for the tri-state, courtesy of the National Weather Service in Paducah. You can see they do believe the front along the associated squall line will be entering some of their western counties across southeastern Missouri by 10 p.m. on Tuesday. Now, some of the model data that I've looked at right now is actually speeding this up a little bit, so I do believe it could possibly enter the Mount Carmel area as early as 11 p.m. Now, I am not necessarily expecting that it will be entering the area by 11 p.m., but that is the earliest window it could enter. Now, I do believe by 1 a.m. on Wednesday morning, it will be to the east of the Wabash and likely affecting the Evansville, Owensboro, and Henderson metro areas by that time. Now, by 4 a.m. on Wednesday, it should have cleared the entire tri-state, though a few storms may be lingering, especially over western Kentucky, over the Pennyrile region. Now, this is one forecast model that I've looked at. It's called the WRF, the Weather Research and Forecasting Model, and this is the forecast composite radar quality that's put out when this will be valid at 1 a.m. on Wednesday morning. Now, you can see this model is moving a little bit faster with the squall line than the National Weather Service seems to be thinking, which more or less jives with my current thinking. You can see that it is Well, I will say just along into the east of the US 41 corridor by that time. Strongest storms will probably be over West Kentucky and towards Perry and Dubois County in Indiana by about 1 a.m. But by no means, I will say plus or minus 2 hours either side for all of these windows that I put out for severe weather. But it does appear at this time the most likely time for severe weather for Mount Carmel appears to be right around midnight, though we could move in as early as 11 a.m. and stay as late as 1 a.m. And also, as mentioned earlier, there could be some thunderstorms developing in the late afternoon hours on Tuesday, which could be very dangerous as well. Now, I do also want to mention, sometimes as this has gotten a little bit lost in our severe weather discussions, that there's a very significant heavy rain threat over the next 5 days. This is the 5-day precipitation forecast courtesy of the Hydrometeorological Prediction Center in Camp Springs, Maryland. You can see that there is potential for almost 7 inches of rain across the heart of the tri-state, including Mount Carmel and Gibson counties. That would present a very dangerous flash flooding situation if that would occur, along with a river flooding situation as well, potentially, especially if heavier rain would fall further up to the north, up in the Lafayette areas where the Wabash River comes from further up north. So, to bottom line this forecast, tell you what you should do now. Please review your severe weather safety action plans. It's very important to go over what you will do if a warning is issued. Now, of course, be prepared to put that plan into place if a warning is issued, which is very possible for tomorrow evening and tomorrow night. Large hail, possibly greater than golf ball size, wind gusts higher than 70 miles per hour, possibly even higher than that, and tornadoes, some of which may be strong, are all possible from this severe weather event. Now, also, I want to say put your NOAA Weather Radio on alert mode. Now, even though it's just potential for hail tonight, not a bad idea to have that weather radio on alert mode. We do have that warm front in the area, and sometimes those warm fronts can cause some low-level shear to develop, so I can't completely rule out an isolated tornado with the storms tonight, but it certainly does appear that hail would be the larger threat, right around quarter size, possibly a little bit larger, up towards the $half size. Now, I do also want to review the different kinds of severe weather watches and warnings. Now, a watch covers a long area, it's in effect for a long period of time, and it means conditions are favorable for severe weather. A warning covers a much smaller area, usually only a couple of counties, and lasts for a much shorter period of time, mainly 30 minutes to 1 hour, and that means severe weather is occurring or likely. So for more information, be sure to keep checking back on my Facebook pages, Spencer Peach's Weather World, and at WX World on Twitter. Now I also have a list of many Facebook friends and Twitter friends you want to follow as well, since I will be out tomorrow at school, learning up so I can go on to better things after this, but I will be sure to keep you informed as soon as I get home from school tomorrow, and I will also provide a short update in the morning. So be sure to follow those people as the day goes on tomorrow for additional information. Have a good day.